And everybody, this is the reality show of reality shows part 2. Hands up, don't shoot. I left some celebrities out. LeBron, Colin Kaepernick. We're going to do the same thing. We're going to have, based on your wealth, you get a lovely selection of white Aryan, biker types, whatever, meth heads, skinheads, and MS-13, and some of these losers out in the streets now attacking cops and looting. You're gonna get some of them. Your average day, everyday criminal, convenience store robbers, some of the rapists and stuff that ICE was holding, that the sanctuary cities were holding, that they wouldn't give over to ICE. You're going to get some of them, and, based on your wealth, is how many you're going to get, just like Oprah, Whoopi, Anderson Cooper Anderson, whatever the hell his name is, Dom Lemon, or Dim Lemon, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel. We're going to base it on your wealth, and you all get a lovely selection, just like Dunkin' Donuts, of criminals who come live with you at your house with you and your family, and you get to feed them, clothe them, give them medical, all that stuff. You don't get any extra security. You have to go to work, do everything just as normal, and leave, your family there with them. Because when you don't put these people in prison and you don't hand them over to ICE and stuff like that, they are released into our communities. They're not released into your communities. They're not released into your rich neighborhoods and gated communities and hanging out with you, hanging out in your hood. They ain't hanging out in your hood, Oprah. So they're all going to come live with you folks. And if people think, I'm just a jackass, I'm a white racist or something, I'm talking about, killing criminals, 2 strikes and that's it. Your choice, gas or electric, buddy. Or like I said, big ass microwave, a dozen at a time, just like Hot Pockets. Just like Hot Pockets. Get rid of them. Let's take a look at the logic here. All the Mexicans, Guatemalans and stuff coming up from the border, you told us they're fleeing violence, they're fleeing gangs and extortionists and rapists. But then when we catch one of those said gang members or extortionists or rapists and stuff in our country, hey, give us that guy. Give it to ICE so we can handle it. No, you can't have him because you're a bunch of racists. You're just a bunch of racists. Wait a minute. He's one of the people that's harming the people you're saying we need to protect that are refugees. Let us handle them. Let us get rid of them. No, because you're racist. What? Do you see the logic? Does anybody have common sense anymore? Any kind of logic at all? All these people are being terrorized by these criminal elements south of the border. We got to let them in. They're refugees. Oh, look, we caught one of them that criminal element that's terrorizing these people. Let us handle them. No, we're going to hide them in a sanctuary city. We're not going to give them to the authorities. Even if the police catch them doing something in our town, we're not going to hand them over. No, really, he's one of the people. He's one of the causes of the problems. Give him to us so we can handle him. No, Donald Trump's a racist. Donald Trump's a racist. We're not going to give him to you. Does that make sense? Doesn't make sense. Sorry, you lose. You don't go to the final round of Jeopardy. You do not go to the final round of Jeopardy. Let's see. What else is there? Okay. There's global warming, cow farts, yada, 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 yada. Meatless Mondays in schools. What? Meatless Mondays in schools. Well, let's take the meat away from some of them convicts in prison before we do that. These kids need their nutrition and stuff. Oh, we can't do that. We can't do that. We can't. We got doctors who watch that stuff to make sure, they got the right caloric intake and all that. Because if we don't, we get the hell sued out of us for human rights violations. Well, they're convicts. They've hurt people. They've killed people, this and that and everything. They can do without meat a couple days a week. Can't do that. You're only saying that because you're racist. Donald Trump's a racist. Wants to take meat. Or I don't even think he ever got on board with that. This is my idea anyway. Want to take meat away from people in prison. Most people in prison are black. So this is all race-based. It's racist. Donald Trump's a racist. Let's take meatless Mondays in school, but there's black school children, isn't there? You want to take meat away from black school children? Short circuit. Does it make sense? Does it make sense? Let's take meat away from kids in school and make sure them convicts are fed and living well. Does that make sense? Is that logic? Is that common sense? You don't go to the final round of Jeopardy either, Jack. You don't go to the final round of Jeopardy either. Let's see. What other things are... Oh, World Health Organization, all these people. The earth is overpopulated. We're destroying the earth because there's too many people, and it's mostly Western society's fault because you got too many fossil fuels and all this and everything like that. Well, you enjoy your modern life, don't you? I don't see. You're not living in no cave somewhere and all this. You're so concerned. You're still driving, flying. Got them basketball teams flying back and forth from city to city. Got them athletic teams flying all the time back and forth, city to city. Well, let's start charging them. We got to charge them super huge carbon tax. Basketball is destroying the environment. Baseball, you're destroying the environment. That's too much needless travel. You're destroying the environment. You have to pay great big huge carbon tax, or we got to cut down on basketball games and sporting events. We'll throw that in there. And then it's overpopulated. People are starving all over. Yes, they are. They are starving all over. Hey, let's stop spending so much money feeding convicts and feed the starving people all over. Can't do that. You're saying that because you're a racist. Can't do that. That don't make any sense. We'll make sure the convicts are well fed, but we'll make sure the people who are starving and need help and everything, we don't have any money or food to give to them. And people over there in Africa for how long? How long? You know, can't build them some irrigation, give them some modern farm equipment. Oh no, we can't do that because that uses fossil fuels. You can't let them farm tons and tons of fuel or food by using fuel to feed the people. That would be wrong. That would be wrong. Besides that, there's plenty of land in this earth that's still available for farming. The earth is not overpopulated. You're saying that God didn't plan ahead. He didn't make the earth big enough to support the life that was going to be here. He had no idea there was going to be this many people. And, you don't believe in God either. Okay. So, you know, we've got to do something, population control, this and that and everything. Hey, let's kill the criminals. We can't do that. You're saying that because you're a racist. Well, what else are you going to do? You say the earth's overpopulated. Say there's people starving. Got to make sure that criminal has the right caloric intake, though, and he gets meat. Does that make sense? Is that logic? Huh? Meh. You people do not pass go. You do not go to the final round of Jeopardy either. You do not pass go to the final round of Jeopardy either. Earth's overpopulated. We're killing the planet. We got to do something. Can't be feeding these people. Got to get rid of meat. Can't let them have meat. I mean, I know I'll tell you, my new religion, the theology is we don't need meat all the time and everything anyway, but I really doubt it has anything to do with global warming. But anyhow, you know, global warming, by the way, if there hadn't been a global warming and melted the glaciers, most of the nations in the northern hemisphere wouldn't exist right now. You understand? You wouldn't have all the things you have right now. You wouldn't be chilling up there in Martha's Vineyard right now, Obama. You wouldn't be kicking back up there in that nice weather, summertime weather there in Martha's Vineyard. Nope. So let's see. We got overpopulation, global warming. You know, they're terrorizing these people, causing refugees. Let's kill the criminals. 2 strikes and you're out. You can't do that. You're a racist. Well, wait a minute. What else are you going to do? I'd rather feed school children, build better schools. Maybe if you did that, you wouldn't have so many convicts. I'd rather, you know, spend money on helping refugees from war and stuff like that and everything, no fault of their own, who are starving and freezing and everything like that, than I would spend money in the prison system. I'd rather make life south of the border better by getting rid of the criminal element so that these people could live in their own countries. Not because I'm a racist, but I think they would much rather live in their own countries than have to pick up and move out of fear, don't you? No, you're saying because you're racist. Sorry, I'm not. You don't pass go. You don't go the final round of Jeopardy either. So I just want to put these things out there. And how much BS you're being fed, America, by the left wing. There's a lot we can go over the right wing too, but you know, you say you got people fleeing their countries because of criminal assholes terrorizing them, drug gangs, this and that and everything. What you do? Mexico don't do crap about the cartels. They should go in there. They have military. They should go in there and bomb the shit out of them, something. But or let us do it. But you know, and I know there's a whole bunch of things behind the scenes, governments and stuff involved in the drug trade and all that and everything. But we need to stop all that. But you know, we got one of them cartel gang member MS-13 guys who's hurt people like these refugees coming from south of the border, who's terrorized them, who's done all kinds of bad stuff. He's hacked people apart. He was caught and he's in our jail and we're going to let him out. Well, give him the ice so we can deal with him. No, we can't do that. You only want to do that because Donald Trump's a racist. You follow their logic, their unlogic that they have. Every single thing that you want to do to protect people in this society, you can't do because you're a racist. But then they scream and cry about, you know, well, we're not helping people because we're not helping the refugees because we're a racist. We try and help the refugees because of what they're going through and everything like that. And we're a racist for that too. You see everything. No, not listening to you, Whitey. Any solutions you have, Whitey, any solutions you have are just wrong. Just wrong. Because you're a racist. Just because it's coming from a white person, it can't possibly work because it's race-based, and that's all there is to it. Even though it defies every bit of logic and common sense, that's our answer. We're sticking to it. Hey, there's a pothole over there. Let's go fill it in with tar. No, can't do that. Well, why not? Because you're white, you're a racist. That's a racist solution. What? Excuse me? It's the same kind of thing. It's nonsense. They got no logic. It's common sense. They're playing politics with real suffering and problems and stuff in the world. And that's all they can think of is to play politics, race-based politics. That's it. So you think I'm too harsh saying, 2 strikes, you're out. Pick your poison, gas or electric. You think I'm too harsh for the things I'm saying? This country can't go through this every time some criminal douchebag gets his head beat in, and that's whether they're white, black, or whatever. I'm done. I don't care no more. You can't get your act together. You know, by the time you're 30, 40 years old, you're still out there acting like a criminal thug, acting like an idiot every time you have contact with the cops. I don't care no more. A lot of America does not care anymore what happens to you. We're not going to cry for you. Why should we cry? Have you thought about that logic? We should cry for you. the country should be burned every time somebody like Rodney King gets his head caved in? Why? He was a career criminal. He had an arrest record as long as your friggin' arm. He was on probation. He assaulted a cop. Who cares? Who cares? I don't care anymore. And you're not going to turn these assholes loose in our neighborhoods anymore. They're going to come live with you. We are going to make sure they come live with you. Every state right now, you know, it was the same thing during Vietnam. Hey, what they say, they didn't start getting rid of the draft until it started going by a lottery, and there was a chance of the white kids going too. Something like that. Well, guess what? You don't want to act on taking care of the criminal element in this country? Maybe when we mandate every state, every governor, it's the rich neighborhoods you release them into. You find, you know, where the NBA players are living. You find where Oprah's living, Anderson Cooper. You find all them places, and you release them next door to them. Put a halfway house right next to them. Instead of down in somebody else's working class neighborhood, you can go put this halfway house right up next door to Oprah and LeBron and everybody else. So you think my solution's too harsh? You got all these problems. You got world hunger. Say, you know, got to have something to cut down on cow farts. Got to have meatless Mondays in school. All this stuff. Well, you make the little kids pay for it for. Got all them convicts in prison don't give a shit about nobody. Make them pay. No, we'll get sued. We got doctors. We got to watch their calorie intake and everything. They got all that figured out. We got, you know, plus it's big business feeding them prisons. We can't. That'll hurt them companies that are contracted to feed them stuff. Oh well, let them contract to feed you know, refugees and stuff. We can build better facilities on the border with that money. Let them people contract to feed prisons, contract to we'll build better facilities to house and feed these you know, refugees coming across, these aliens coming across, and you can feed them better instead of feeding the convicts better. How about that? There's even another thing. We'll feed them people that are being detained down at the border better and give them better living conditions, but it'll be at the expense of convicts in prison. How about that? Oh, you can't do that. You're racist. You don't go the final round of Jeopardy either, Jack. You do not go the final round of Jeopardy either. So that's my idea, some of my ideas, and my idea for the reality show. You know, and how to cut down on global warming. It's too many basketball games, man. Them teams flying back and forth all the time. Too many baseball games, them teams flying back and forth all the time. Got to cut down on that. Got to cut down on that. Sorry. You know, a lot of petroleum products, I'm pretty sure, still go into sneakers. Still going into them Nikes. I'm pretty sure all the rubber and stuff and plastics that are used to make them Nikes, I'm pretty sure that comes from petroleum products, fossil fuels. So maybe we got to do away with Air Jordans too, and whatever LeBron shoes are called. Maybe we got to do away with them too. Let's get real. Ain't that what they say on them TV shows? Let's get real. Let's get real. Okay, let's really get down to brass tacks. Let's get down to where the rubber meets the road. Let's take a look. Look at your arguments. Let's take a look at your arguments. And how come the only people you ever want to make pay, or punish is working class or upper middle class society, white society? That's it. Global warming, you know, you're evil, Mr. Truck Driver, out there moving goods around and stuff. Yeah, but them basketball players fly back and forth across the country all the time. Oh, you're racist. You're racist. No, you know them basketball players are mostly black and black people like basketball. You're a racist. No, I'm just trying to point out no, you're a racist. That's it. You're a racist. Well, if you're going to talk about, unnecessary, burning of fossil fuels, no. What I do, I move goods and stuff that takes care of people in the cities and commerce and gives them jobs and stuff. And basketball players ain't doing. No, you're a racist. You're a racist. Welcome to America 2020. Welcome to America 2020. Got to cry for criminals. Got to demonize working class and successful people society. Yep. Anytime you say anything about anything, if you're not a minority, well, even if you are, then you're an Uncle Tom or something. That's their other game they play. Even if you're an African American or a Mexican and you agree with everything I've said, guess what? They got names for you too. They've got names for you too. No matter how much sense you make, they have names for you too. So, what are we gonna do? You can't get through to people who are stoned and stupid. You just can't. You can't get through people who are stoned and stupid. But that's my idea for a reality show, though. Hands up, don't shoot. And it won't be the convicts saying that. It'll be Oprah, LeBron, Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Kimmel. That's why I said that'll be the name of it. Hands up, don't shoot. Convicts and celebrities living together. The reality show of reality shows. Hands up, don't shoot. All right, y'all have a good one out there. God bless.